So you might have heard us say before that the Juicy Body transformation is about one rule only: just eat real food. Unfortunately, there are some blurry lines when it comes to determining what is real food. You may have noticed in the guide that there are 3 foods that we ask you to cut back on, and that is grains, dairy, and sugar. There are several reasons for this. First of all, I want to ensure you that I don't believe that these 3 foods are inherently bad for us. I believe that what man has done to them has made them bad for us, and also that we're not eating a diet rich in variety when we include these foods in abundance in our diet. For example, we have been trained by the food corporations to eat cereal for breakfast, crackers as a snack, a sandwich for lunch, and maybe pasta for dinner. Now, I'm pretty sure that if we all ate kale 5 times a day, then there'd be a kale epidemic of illness as well. You simply cannot eat any food in this quantity and expect to experience true vitality. Eating this amount of grains in your diet leaves no room for vitality foods. Not only are they often genetically modified, but they can also be sprayed for sometimes years on end in toxic gases to keep fungus and rodents at bay. Now, rodents and fungus, they're living organisms, and so are we. So personally, it just doesn't make sense to put those kind of foods in our body. Now, if you're someone who thinks that life isn't worth living without some bread in your diet, then I've got some good news for you. This is not about completely eliminating grains if they're one of your favorite foods and you don't experience any troubles from eating them. What I do suggest is you bring some variety back into your diet by spreading out the days where you choose to eat bread. Maybe you'll eat it every few days, and you'll make sure that it's the very best quality bread that you can find. An organic sourdough from a special deli, something like that. Also, there isn't much vitality in the bread, so it's actually more important just to focus on what you're going to have with it, or what you'll have for the rest of the day. There's no vitality in Vegemite either, so if you're going to add avocado and sprouts and tomato and spinach and maybe some eggs with your bread, then that one piece of toast isn't going to cause much of a problem for you. When it comes to dairy, once again, I don't believe that it's inherently bad for us. Unfortunately, it's consumed in such large quantities today that it has to be mass-produced and therefore pasteurized to sterilize the milk. I know it's disgusting to talk about, but the reality is pus and blood does end up in the milk because of the way that it's farmed. Now, pasteurization is a good thing if we want to avoid bacteria in the milk, but unfortunately this kills all of the amazing living enzymes which would help us digest it and which would add vitality to our health. This makes the milk dead, lifeless, and very difficult to digest. Now, once again, if you're one of those people who cannot imagine life without your morning coffee, then that's fine. 1 coffee a day, enjoy the ritual. You definitely don't need 5. And better still, maybe you could switch to a piccolo so that it's half the amount of milk. Or maybe you could try almond milk or coconut milk. Unsweetened almond and coconut milk are naturally sweet, so it also means that you don't need to sweeten your coffee. Now, when it comes to sugar, way back when we were hunter-gatherers, sugar was very hard to find. Today, however, over 90% of products on supermarket shelves have a high concentration of sugar. You may be very surprised to learn that the average person consumes over 40 teaspoons of sugar a day. Often in products that we think are healthy, like muesli, muesli bars, fruit juices. Incredibly, just 1 teaspoon of sugar can compromise the immune system for 4 hours. If you want to experience consistent vitality and energy throughout the day, then you really need to take a look at the amount of sugar that you're consuming. I highly recommend that you try 30 days without these foods in your diet. This is going to remove the cloud that you may be under and release you from the craving cycle. At the end of the 30 days, when you add them back into your diet, you can tune in and truly see how they're making you feel. More often than not, people choose not to add these foods in great quantities back into their diet because they've realized how good they feel without them. Remember, this program is about sustainability, not about deprivation and not about rules. So if you want to enjoy your pasta, enjoy it on the weekend with a glass of wine. Make sure it's the best pasta ever. What counts is your next choice. So make sure the next meal is absolutely abundant in vitality foods. What we've found is people actually feel a lot of freedom in this because there's only 3 foods that you're taking out of your diet or cutting back on. It also opens up your mind and imagination to all of the other possibilities out there that you're missing out on. This next week ahead, I want you to look at your food and ask yourself honestly, is it full of vitality? Is every plate full of goodness, living enzymes, colors? Are you eating every color of the rainbow every day in fruits and veggies? I'd really love to know how you go with cutting down on these foods, how it benefits your health, and how you feel at the end of the 30 days.